Okay, guys, so we have been learning that when you are co-osing with fractions, you need the green light. And so the first step is to be able to understand when fractions are green light fractions, which green means go, yellow light fractions, which if they're not green, you really want them to be yellow because all you have to do is slow down, change one of the fractions before you can go, or red light fractions, in which case you're going to have to stop, do a lot of work before you can turn them into green light fractions. So here's a quick review. Green light fractions are two fractions that have a common denominator. They have the same denominator, like 3/5 and 2/5. They both have the denominator of 5. If the bottom number in the fraction, the denominator is the same, they are green light fractions, and green means go. If they are yellow light fractions, that means that the fraction with the smaller denominator can be turned into a fraction with the bigger denominator. So let's say we have 3/12 and 1/3. They're definitely not green light fractions, but we want to check to see if they're yellow light fractions. Essentially, can the smaller denominator, which is the 3 down here, can it be turned into the bigger denominator, which is a 12, to create green light fractions? Well, let's see if we can create an equivalent fraction that has the same denominator of 12, in which case I need to decide, is there a Witotomadud that will take me from 3 to 12? And I know that 3 times 4 is indeed 12. So we can turn thirds into 12ths to create those green light fractions. Whatever I do to the denominator, I'm going to do the same thing to the numerator, and 1 times 4 is 4. These are yellow light fractions because all we have to do is change one fraction into an equivalent fraction that has the same denominator as the other bigger denominator. Red light fractions are when you have two different denominators, so it's not green, but you cannot Witotomadud the smaller denominator into the bigger denominator. So in this case, the 5 is the smaller denominator, and there's nothing times 5 that can make 6. So I cannot create an equivalent fraction that can Witotomadud to become a 6. Unfortunately, this would be a red light fraction. So your first job here, should you choose to accept it, is you are going to be, let me find it real quick, I apologize. You are going to be completing this task here. And what you're going to do is it's very simple. You are simply going to look at the pair of fractions and you are going to choose green, yellow, or red for each one. So once you finish these, looks like 8 questions, you are going to pop back into the Zoom. Let me know you're ready to rock and roll. And if you are, you'll be ready to start learning how to compare green light fractions. Good luck.